Live. My name's Kelley Farley. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Karaka, Auckland, New Zealand. Tonight we are going to, I'm just going to move that over a little bit and zoom you in just a little bit. Hopefully that doesn't make you feel nauseous. Tonight we're going to make this box fold card, which is actually, it looks really effective but super cute too, so it'd be quite cool if you had someone that you wanted to have a few people writing on. Hi Lisa. Yeah, so I'm just trying to make sure there's no noise in the background. So it just opens up like the top of a box, and then it opens up like this. So you've got a nice area to write. You could also put pieces on your flaps here. Totally forgot it was Wednesday. I know. Today has felt like the longest day. I don't know why. But yeah, so that's, I've made that too close. Now you can't see it. Let me just pop that forward. There we go. Get that out of the way. Yeah, so our box fold card, so it fits in a standard envelope. You could just, you know, when you're putting it together, it was like that. It's like that. So it's a nice, relatively simple one, and easy to, and quite effective when you put it together. So you just tuck it under like you would when you're sealing a box closed. Alrighty. Okay, let's get started on it. You need 2 pieces of cardstock for the base. You could, too many drills. Bananas and fun. I know, just far too many, Trace. Welcome back. So you could, if you wanted to, you could play around with this. This is the width of your A4. So if you wanted to keep it, your A4 piece, you could actually like do some scoring that way and then just cut these corners out. That might be easier for you. This one that I've watched the tutorial on, I was thinking, what have I done here? Yeah, too many drills. My brain's not working now. It was so funny. The kids were trying to tell me stuff this afternoon, and I was just like, I'm not getting what you're saying. I don't know. They miss. What's going on? I was like, oh no, my brain's not working. I haven't had enough water. Hi, Andrea. And then just to top it all off, just needing to have a fire drill in the afternoon. All right, so this one here is 11 inches. Let me just double check that. Yeah, 11 inches by 4 1/4, so half of our A4. Yeah, 4 1/4. And then we have another piece that is 8 1/4, so the standard. Oh no, oh, that would have been fun, Lisa. 8 1/4 wide, which is our standard width of A4 cardstock, and then it is cut to 5 3/8, so slightly smaller than a normal one, our normal card. All right, normally it's 5 7/8, so it's a little bit narrower. All right, so starting with our piece that is 4 1/4 by 5 3/8, you're going to bring it in and you're going to score it at 2 1/8. So making sure we use the scoring, and then I'm going to flip it. So rotate it 180, come in at 2 1/8 again. That's just easier than trying to, and then this should actually sit quite nicely in there, but it's not going to. What have I done? Okay, I'm going to make this 4. And that might just make things a little bit smoother. So you want it to sit in between your score marks, like so. Might even be a little bit less. I'm going to go just a little bit less. Now, this is using A4 letter, so I've had to do a few little tweaks to it. Yeah, so actually, let's change that. Not 4, it'll be 3 7/8. 3 7/8. 3 15/16 is what it's ended up with. But once you leave that until you've scored this, cut it, and then just see how it sits within your score, your 2 score marks. This one here is going to be 11, so we want to pop that in, and we want to score, make sure I'm looking at the right one, 2 3/4, so that long line just before the, and then we're going to turn it 180 and go back to 2 3/4 and pop that in there. So hopefully that will be right. Alright. Evening, Mary. So I'm going to apologize in advance if this doesn't work, because my brain is just a little bit overloaded at the moment, and when I did these on Sunday, they worked, but doesn't mean they're going to work tonight. And so what we need to do is, when that's pulled together, that's going to overlap slightly. So one end, the overlapping end, you want them to meet like a gatefold, all right? And so that's what I mean. This is because it's translated from US card size. Sometimes there's a little bit of a mismatch. So we've got just a little tiny smidge, but they're not overlapping. All right, then we'll move that out of the way, and then we're going to fold this over, and then fold this over. And I had the same issue with this one. I don't know why, because in theory 2 1/8 and 2 1/8 is 4 1/4, and that leaves us 4 in the middle. But again, there's a slight overlap, so I'm going to take just a little tiny bit off each side. When I say a little tiny bit, I'm actually lining my cardstock up with the second half of that trimmer guide, the cutting guide, and I'm just taking a little bit off and then check it, and it still needs just a smidge more. I don't know what I've done. If you want to have a play, see, it's not even, it's like a 1/16 of an inch or something. It's like a smidge, but for it to work properly, it needs to be slightly, it needs to meet, not overlap. All right, yeah, like that. So I don't know what the heck is going on. Oh, Lisa, that's no good. Hopefully it's just, maybe it needs a restart. That's right. I went into Facebook tonight to come on to go live, and it says, sorry, this page is under repair. Please refresh. I refreshed like 6 times and nothing happened. All right, so this is going to sit, our longer piece. Maybe everyone's having Wi-Fi issues because of the weather. So it's going to sit like that. All right. So we have our longer piece on top of, going opposite directions. So our smaller rectangle is going to go sideways, so the flaps are at the top. Our longer piece is going to go in the middle, so that then you're going to pop it down like this, and it will look like that. So it will mean that you know, you might just need to do a little bit of trimming or playing around with the measurements. So on the back of this piece, my first one, because they used tape, I thought, oh, maybe I should use tape. today I'm just going to use glue. Remember, not too close to the edge. And we're going to, I find it easier to fold it all up now that I've got glue on it. So we're going to open that up. So we've got our two smaller flaps facing at the top. This one we've got our flaps going out to the side, and we're going to pop that in there. I'm just going to line that up with the score marks, the score lines. I'm going to make sure that that folds nicely, and it does. And so then we have got that there. It must be the weather, ladies, if you're both having issues. And then you're just going to pop this under here. Now, to decorate it, you're better off having it closed. Unfortunately, these 4 rectangles are not all the same size. So I have got some design series paper, and I think it's called, oh, okay, interesting. I had to go to a different, like I had to go to the, what do you call it? The Pages app to get into doing a Facebook Live. I couldn't do it from Facebook and then swap over to my page. It was really weird. But that's annoying. It's annoying because they've done updates and made it harder, and then they don't, then they continue to make it difficult. All right, so I am going to use a piece of, nice to see you, Angela, this piece here. So on my, again, you might, if you've trimmed it down stuff, you might need to trim down your DSP, but you need 2 pieces at 2 by 2 3/4, and then you need 2 pieces at 2 1/8 by 2 5/8, and that's because these flaps are shorter. Okay, now I had some flowers. I'm going to use some of this with the purple on it and the blue, and so I'm going to do this as my 2 1/8. Hang on, how wide is that? No, 2 5/8. So 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's going to bring quite a bit of the blue into it. And then I'm going to turn it this way, and I'm going to have 2 1/8. So these are the larger pieces. Hopefully I've got it wide enough. Hi Sylvia, I'm glad you could join us even if it is on Bob's phone. And oh, just enough. That's good. No, I might have got that wrong anyway. Might have to adjust that. Huh, that is odd. This one here, I must have, maybe it's 2 3/8. That's 2 by 2 1/2. Oh man, I must have really had a bad day on Sunday. So I'm going to use this piece here with the lighter flowers. I might use that one. So if I go this way, I'm going to go 2 by 2 3/4. So let's go 2 this way. Now your orientation of your card can be whichever way you like, because obviously if you've got directional paper it'll matter on the front here, but if you don't, you just have to worry about what you're going to put on the inside. So I think I've really messed up my measurements here. That's right, just keeping it real, ladies. So what did I do here? 2 and 2. So this is 2 3/4, which I feel like I'm going to have to cut down. 2 by 2 3/4. I also was just kind of doing some bits before I came on and realized that I haven't put the last 2 videos up on YouTube, so apologies for that if you go back to YouTube to find the videos, because it's easier than scrolling through my page, which I discovered tonight is a real pain in the back side. Alright, I do need to chop these down a bit. So I think this is actually 2.5. Let's just take a little tiny bit off there and see. Alright, so one of the things that we love about paper crafting is that there are never 2 cards alike. And this is why, because when we score things or we cut things, sometimes they're slightly different, and that's okay. So 2.5. Alright, so I've got that one, and then I would say that's going to go onto that one there. Alright, so then our lovely brush stroke paper is going to go there, so that needs a little smidge off the bottom. So let's go 2.5 for that too, instead of 2 5/8. And then we've got 2, let's go 2. Let's just see, because I think actually when I made my card before, do you know what? I copied these measurements off the internet. I should have just measured mine, because I think I ended up with all my 4 pieces being the same size. There, we did. So these are the same. 2.5 by 1 7/8. That is your measurement, ladies. 2.5 by 1 7/8. 1 7/8. And 2.5. Should have just done it myself. I should realize that it's going to be different, and I need to just trust myself that the measurements that I use are right, and I don't have to. Thank you, Helen. That I don't have to just use people who put things up on the internet, because actually our cardstock is different from the videos that I watch. Alright, so ladies, 4 pieces of designer series paper, 2 different patterns, 4 different patterns. You may need to tweak it slightly just depending on how your folding ends up, how your folds end up, and your scoring. But basically 1 7/8 high by 2.5 wide. Alright, and like I was starting to say, if you decide that you would like your card to orient this way, you just need to make sure that your designer series paper, if it's directional, that you've got it going the right way. If it's non-directional, like this smudgy stuff, then it doesn't matter. Or if it's like these flowers that are just like scattered all over the page, that isn't going to matter. It's just going to be, it is what it is. Alrighty, so that is our decoration. You can obviously do far more than that, but that's the basic. If you wanted to, you could just make it a whole lot easier for yourself and do a whole lot across the top, so when it is open and people are seeing it, they'll see that it's decorated all the way along. If you're trying to use up some pieces of designer series paper like I am, then just use the sections. Again, you can still use different ones on each part if you're using so that would look like this. So if I put that on there, it would look like that. So you would have a whole section, which would look really pretty too. So what we're going to do is we're going to open that up and we're going to do a little bit of stamping. And I'm just going to pop, I don't have the stamp set that matches that, which has got some lovely sentiments on it, but I'm feeling like I need some thank you cards. So let's go with some gorgeous grape to match our cardstock. Just using Peaceful Moments, which is my kind of go-to. I'm going to stamp that nice and even in the middle, just like that. There's lovely here little bracelets, just like that, eh, Kelley? Right, and then I'm going to glue this in. I just want it to dry a bit, so I'll just fling it around a bit. Because our card is a lovely matte finish, most of the inks dry really nice and quickly. The only one yeah, there's a few. Pop that there, and I'm going to cut out. Now, one of the issues that we have is often we have lovely pieces that are in the corner and you think, oh, it's a shame I can't use that, but actually you can. Fits really nicely in there. I'm going to put some glasses on so I can see, and then we're just going to fussy cut around here. I have just cut out 60 faces, so fussy cutting around a flower is actually a whole lot quicker, and these scissors are so much sharper. Some days I feel really cat-handed with scissors. Alright, so I'm just going to cut that bit out there. I'm going to pop that on there. I'll just cut out some of these leaves. Yes, well, you know, there's probably not quite 60, but A4, it was A4 lesser, so it wasn't too bad. It was, I might cut out one of these ones, so not too bad, but it's for tomorrow and Friday, so I hadn't initially planned on cutting them all out. I was going to give them to everybody to do themselves, but I just kind of was in that mode and just kept going, and then realised that I was like nearly halfway, so I just kept going. Someone else had come and get some though to take and do, which is nice. Alright, I might put that on top there like that. I don't want to, you could use dimensionals, I don't want to. Thanks, Tracy. I didn't print them till after school, so I was kind of, you know, one of those last minute, oh my gosh, I haven't done this job things, but it's okay. It got done. Maybe do I want those leaves? If I cut those leaves out. You could also cut one of these out and pop it on the front. That might be a way to do it too. Shall we do that? If I've got any more, just pull that off. And I usually try to keep some Yeah, how's that? That looks right, doesn't it? Let's glue that down. So if I put that on with some glue, get that lined up, everything else will be so much easier. Pop that in there, line that up with the edge of our card, smooth it down, pop a little bit of glue on here. We don't want it oozing out everywhere. And I might just have it a little bit loose so that it's got a little bit of, you know, what do you call that, life in it. It doesn't look completely flat. Dimension is the word I'm looking for. Yes, it would. I think that would be something that I might just, if you, how what have we got for time? Oh, I was going to say if you ladies don't mind bearing with, I should have put this down first. I might just quickly cut one. So you just have to gently lift that, tuck it under. So it's important that you make sure all of your corners are stuck down. I don't think I've got any more of this colorway, so I'm going to use some of our edge pieces. Again. Put that there. Let's reinforce those score lines too. If you have joined us for the first time tonight, thank you very much. Hope you come back again. Hope you have a go at doing one of these cards as well. I also, ladies, realised that I haven't popped up the, or have I? I couldn't, Facebook was being dumb. I couldn't see, I thought I had put up a link for you to put your cards in, but I couldn't see it. So go for it. Thank you, Lisa. Maybe I should put it there. No, that's too big there. So let's pop it here and put one here. That one there. And this one here. It's a nice way to be able to use up all these edge pieces when you've cut into your designer series paper. And you can pop them on. Don't know about that. Maybe some leaves here. These little ones are cute, but I can't be bothered cutting them out. Haha. Yes, they are a bit cute though. Might be too much. Maybe just one. Right, dimensionals, where did I put them? So this is also where you can pop your another sentiment on the front. You could put it down. I'm going to use a half one. You know, you could place a sentiment over here or add more 3D kind of bits and pieces to it. Let's go. There we go. I think my Winker Stella has run out. I tried using this the other day and I ended up, I think it was finished. Let me see if I've got another one. Where my other one is. Oh dear. Here we go. Ladies, this is a brand new one, so if you haven't seen the Winker Stella before, when you get a new one, you it comes in a cellophane packet. You take that off. Take off the little black bit. And then that gets poked in. It's got a nice clear lid now. And then on the side here it's got push. So it's just squeeze those two together and you can see it coming into the barrel. Press it a couple of times and you can see that it's coming into the barrel, and then it drips down into, there's a gap on the side. I always like to do that with my brush inside the lid, because then it let me just clear some of this out of the way, because then if it does come out too quickly, you don't end up with a splodge on your work, but it also means that you can go back with the brush and pick it up. So just in the highlights, whoops, there it goes, too much. Spoke too soon. So not in the highlights, it's just going to go over the whole thing because it came out too quick. So there's a nice shimmer on that flower now, and then I might just do some, whoops, it's kind of flooded. Okay. It always gets stored upright as well. That way it doesn't leak into the, so I just keep it in a pen jar. Alright, I don't know if you can see that. I need to take my glasses off. See the shimmer? Oh yeah. And then so just put it over these bits of the flowers as well. Alrighty. So that is 1, 2 different cards, different colour ink, same colour cardstock, different decoration. Can be used for anything, any kind of style card. You do just need to remember that you want the paper to be your outside piece. So when you're putting it together, just make sure that you are remembering that. So we've got one open and one closed. Yeah, it is quite an effective, it's an effective card, I think, for the size of it. Like if I think of the napkin fold card, that's really cool, but you need quite a big piece of card and there's lots of fiddly little bits. But if you need a quick card that's got some extra space to write on, you could also put something on the back and use that. So if you've got quite a few people wanting to do it, but you just want a standard size card, it's a good one for that. The Winker Stella, I don't think we use enough, Helen. It is lovely, and it's just that lovely subtle shimmer, you know, not real intense glitter that makes a mess everywhere, but just a really subtle kind of highlight to a project. It's really nice. Yeah. All right, ladies. Well, thank you very much. I will flip you around and say goodbye. Thank you very much for joining me tonight. I hope that you have a go at making that card, and pop it on my page. I will pop a picture up now. I don't know what I did Sunday night. I did lots of cards because I finished the live and took photos, but then obviously didn't post them. But then I also did all the cards for yes, I don't have glitter in my class either, Lisa. And when I used to do kids classes, because a lot of the kids now that I did the kid classes have all grown up because they're all Piper's friends, and they're not really interested in coming and making cards in the holidays, or doing craft projects. So I don't do them anymore. But yeah, I used to, if I used glitter, I was in control of it. They didn't really have much option of glitter. Yeah, so I did my gnomes class, which meant that I obviously forgot to pop the card up for you to post underneath. So I will post this underneath. You have until Sunday night if you'd like to be in the draw for both cards. So last Sunday night's just gone, the 14th, and tonight's. Feel free to pop them up. Each entry that you put in your so if you put it in for both cards, you get 2 entries on the wheel. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you all on Sunday night. Hopefully have a lovely rest of the week. I can't believe it's Wednesday already, and there's 2 more days until the weekend. That's gone super fast. But I look forward to seeing you on Sunday night for another card. See you later. Take care.